In a house where two twin sisters were born on the same day, people believed destiny had chosen favorites. One sister was admired, praised, and respected without effort. The other was given instructions, responsibilities, and silence, not because she was weaker, not because she lacked intelligence, but because her skin was darker. Every smile she offered was taken for granted. Every sacrifice she made went unnoticed. They called her helpful, quiet, obedient. No one ever called her valuable. And the white-skinned twin? She accepted the praise as if it were her birthright. But life is a strange way of revealing truth when arrogance feels safest. Because one night, just one night, forced everyone to see what kindness had been carrying in silence. And when the truth finally stood under the light, no one was ready for the shame it brought with it. They were twins in name, not in treatment. Elena and Maya shared the same birthday, the same parents, the same roof, but never the same respect. Elena, with her shining white skin and confident posture, was always introduced first. People remembered her name easily. They complimented her smile, her voice, her presence. She learned early that speaking loudly meant being heard. Maya learned something else. She learned that silence avoided trouble. Maya's darker skin became her identity before her personality ever had a chance. From childhood, tasks were quietly handed to her. Clean this. Help there. Stay back. Be patient. She's just naturally kind, people said. Kindness became her cage. At school, Elena sat in front rows, raising her hand, correcting teachers. Maya sat behind, absorbing everything, rarely speaking. When she did speak, her words were often interrupted, not because they lacked meaning, but because they lacked volume. At home, guests praised Elena's confidence. Maya was asked to bring tea, and Elena never objected. Why would she? Being admired feels easier than being fair. Maya noticed things people ignored: emotions, tension, unspoken needs. She remembered birthdays. She listened when others talked. She helped without being asked. But kindness without recognition slowly turns into loneliness. Late at night, Maya wrote in her notebook. She wrote about how it felt to exist without being acknowledged, about how love felt conditional, about how her own sister looked through her as if she were furniture. She never hated Elena. She just wished Elena would see her. But Elena was busy enjoying a world that clapped for her without asking questions. The night that changed everything didn't announce itself. It arrived quietly, like truth often does. Elena organized a gathering. Music played. Lights glowed. Conversations overlapped. Maya moved around the room, invisible as usual, making sure everything ran smoothly. Then panic struck. A sudden emergency. Confusion. Fear. People froze. Voices cracked. Confidence disappeared. Elena shouted instructions, but her words were hollow. She had never needed real responsibility before. The admiration she depended on offered no guidance now. And then Maya stepped forward. Not loudly, not dramatically, calmly. She assessed the situation. She spoke clearly. She made decisions without fear. She helped where help was needed, not where attention was loudest. People listened, not because she demanded respect, but because competence commands it. Minutes passed. Order returned. Crisis softened. And for the first time in their lives, people looked at Maya, truly looked at her. Someone whispered, "Why didn't we know she was like this?" Elena stood frozen, because the truth hurt. She had mistaken attention for value, and Maya had mistaken humility for invisibility. That night stripped away illusions, not by force, but by truth. This story is not about twins. It's about how the world decides who deserves respect. We often confuse loudness with leadership, confidence with competence, appearance with worth. Society trains us to judge quickly and look deeply only when it's too late. Maya was never weak. She was never incapable. She was simply ignored. And Elena was never powerful. She was just never challenged. Kindness does not mean submission. Silence does not mean emptiness. And humility is not a lack of strength. The people who carry the most responsibility often carry it quietly. They don't announce themselves. They don't demand applause. They show up when things fall apart. True value reveals itself under pressure, not praise. If this story made you uncomfortable, that discomfort is important, because growth begins where excuses end. The next time you overlook someone because they are quiet, different, or less visible, remember Maya, because a soul has no color, and character has nothing to do with how loudly the world claps for you.